Good afternoon, I'm Chief Meteorologist Sabrina. I know you felt the difference in the air today. We are dramatically cooler, only 70 degrees currently in San Diego, the upper 60s out toward Carlsbad, and those values will continue to fall. We'll take a look at your temperature forecast on the flip side of the break. Those clouds are dropping our temperatures. We have a cold front that actually looks like it's going to push through the county, even more so. Out into El Cajon, currently only 73 degrees there, so off to a fairly mild late afternoon for you. Noticing your winds about 8. Remember though, those winds are going to increase for us as we get to finally feel like fall. High pressure is what brought us a lot of the warm air. That is now continuing to shift further to the east, and you can already see that cold front knocking on the door of Northern California. That is forecast to get close to our region by tomorrow, and as a result, even more clouds. Those thicker clouds for us will lead to maybe a 10% chance of rain. So not a complete washout, nothing to really change your plans, but just know you might get a little bit of drizzle for you. And obviously those temperatures will begin to fall. Not going to stay too long though, because already by Thursday, we're looking at another warm up in our forecast. Hour by hour temperature forecast, starting you off at about 6 o'clock tonight, keeping those clouds in place. The 60s for the coast for your commute on home, or maybe waiting for the relatives to arrive to go out to dinner. Inland areas around 63 degrees into Lakeside. Watch what happens by tomorrow morning. Remember, there's a chance of a little bit of fog, but most likely it's just going to be haze because of the overcast skies. Falling into the 30s for Palomar Mountain. The 40s out toward Pine Valley and Campo, whereas the coast maybe even out over toward Oceanside. Into the lower 50s for you. In the afternoon, we're not talking about a lot of sunshine. We are keeping those clouds in place, keeping that chance of a sprinkle, and winds picking up 10 to 15 miles per hour for the coast and inland areas. Wind advisory will go into effect out over toward the mountain areas. And then even as we go through Thursday, no longer do we really get to talk about cold air. Everyone's going to start to notice their temperatures warming, and we're in store for a weak to moderate Santa Ana from Thursday all the way through Saturday. So for Thursday, at least about 74 degrees into Mira Mesa and about 70 into Del Mar. In the waters, if the cold front doesn't fool you or doesn't really scare you too much, you'll be able to enjoy fair conditions, although that beach hazard statement stays with us through the morning hours. Coming up, we talk more about the high wind we're anticipated. Guys, few glimpses of sunshine. That beach hazard statement stays with us through tomorrow morning. We're noticing high tide coming in at about 9:30 at about 6.7 feet. Tidal overflow possible in La Jolla Shores as well as into Mission Beach, and even for parts of Oceanside. Strong rip currents as well. That is not the only advisory we are concerned with. There's now a wind advisory that goes into effect tomorrow afternoon, staying through Thursday morning. Winds 20 to 35 miles per hour. That for the mountain communities, meaning Julian, Mount Laguna, and Palomar Mountain, gusting though closer to 65 miles per hour, all as that front gets ready to slide through. You can see the wind forecast before that front decides to slide through the area. The winds predominantly coming in out of the southwest or westerly component, still about 10 to 15 miles per hour. But when that boundary does move through the region, the winds shift to have a northerly component, ushering in that cooler air, and you can see winds in Campo at around 20. Coming up, we take a look at your 7-day forecast. Guys.
Sabrina,
we haven't seen the 60s over sunset for quite some time. Temps have actually fallen about 18 degrees in El Cajon in the last 24 hours. The same number for you into Poway. You're almost 10 degrees cooler in Oceanside. That puts you sitting around 66 degrees. Into downtown, you're at 70. And good evening in Chula Vista, about 69 for you. These values, though, are going to continue to fall. We have a cold front in the forecast that's going to push those values down. I'd say about another 5 degrees for the coast and up to 10 to 15 degrees cooler for inland locations. Looking what's happening across the nation, we're not the only ones dealing with cool air. In fact, a cold air mass coming down throughout portions of Utah and even through Colorado. So much so, winter weather advisories are up for purple, where they could see about 6 to 12 inches. Time now to grab, I guess, the skis and head out over toward Vail and even into Aspen. Winter storm watch is up for them. They can see anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of snowfall. Back in California, while we have that cold front moving down, noticing behind it that chillier air prompting freeze watches up for Northern California, waking up in Eureka between 27 and 35 degrees. We don't get as cold, but still taking us close to seasonal, if anything, maybe just a little bit below. So for the coast, going for 71 degrees, there will be more clouds, breezy, about a 10% chance of rain. Once that boundary moves through, we'll end up seeing sunshine on Thursday, Santa Ana conditions through Saturday, and at 82. That's a look at your 7-day forecast, guys. Over to you.